Okay, exercise number 23 is our widening tongue and groove joint. So what we're going to do here, we're going to draw our first piece as a solid piece of wood. We're then going to use our second piece with our tongue and draw him with the tongue so that we can cut out the first piece using the second piece. We're then going to copy and paste the second piece again and use that to cut out this groove in our second piece. So we only have to draw two pieces and we can copy and paste and use it for a third, but we only have to draw one tongue, which saves us a lot of time. So we're going to start with our sketch. So our first piece is going to be our solid rectangle with no tongue. So it's 50 tall by 150 wide. We're going to extrude him out 300. Now our second piece here is I'm actually going to just draw him over here to the side. So I don't actually want him to line up yet because we're going to use the assemble and the joints feature to align them. So just going to draw my rectangle, which again is going to be 50 tall, 150 wide. And then we can cut out this section. So it is 25 across and 15 tall. Same at the bottom, 15, 25. And that's our second shape. We're just going to extrude this part here and he's coming out 300. So here I have my two bodies. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take body two. I'm actually going to move or copy it. So right click, move or copy. I'm going to click create a copy and need to choose the axis I want to move. So I'm just going to choose remove and then create copy. I can just drag him out and he'll sit there. So now I have one, two, three pieces. I'm going to right click on body two and change the color while we're here. Drag walnut onto there so he's a dark color like in our picture. And so here we have our three bodies. Now, if I want to put these together, I need to use the assemble thing up here, but I can't do that unless I have a component. So a component is just saying to Fusion, hey, this part, it all lives together and it needs to be together. And we can then assemble different components together. So to do that, here's body one. I'm going to right click and click create components. Now it's just turned body one into component one. I'm going to do the same for body two. I'm going to do the same for body three. Now we can try and join them together. So if I go and choose component one, I can move him around, but we need to lock them in. So whenever we assemble something, step one is always to ground a component. What does that do? It just means it's sitting on the ground and that's where it's going to live, so it can't move. So if I right click component one, I'm going to click on ground. It says some of them may have changed. Let's click revert position and now it's grounded. If I click and drag it, it won't move. Whereas if I click and drag this one, it will move. And same with this one because they're not grounded. I don't want to ground these. So to join this to this, I'm going to use a joint function just here. So I can go into assemble and choose joint, or I can just click on joint here. And so the way that this works is we need to find two parts the same that we need can line up. So if I chose in here, I can choose here, but I don't have the same part that will line up in here. So I'm going to choose this top edge, and these lines represent the axis. So if I choose here, my blue axis is going left, red's towards me, and green's up. I'm going to choose that way. I'm going to spin around and choose the corresponding side on here, which is this side here. So it's in the middle on that edge. If I click there, red's facing up and green's facing left, which is a different direction. So I need to be on this face here where the axes are aligned and it will move in. I click OK. I'm then going to do the same for this one here. So joint, top edge. So this time I'm going to do it with my blue one facing up. And I just need to make sure when I click here, my blue one's also facing up. So if I click here, see how it'll go a funny direction? Because it's trying to line those lines up. So let's just get rid of that second one. And so I did it with my blue one facing up, which means I'm sort of on that top face. And if I click there, it'll slide on in and join. Now it hasn't, but it is aligned. So what I actually need to do here is click flip, and it'll flip it over and the axis will face the other way. So it is lined up, it's just facing the wrong way. We click OK. So now we have all of our pieces lined up and all our components joined. We just need to do our add and remove function or our combine function to cut away our sections. So at the moment, solid piece, then we've got our tongue and grooves, but we want to create it so they cut each other out. So if I go combine, our target body is our first piece, our tool body is our second. We have it on cut and we want to keep our tools. We then need to do the same for the second one. So this time we're cutting out the middle one, using the third one. It's on cut and keep tools. And now you'll see if I turn off the middle one, I actually have a slot in my first piece. If I turn off the third one, I have the slot cut out in my second piece. So it's a lot faster to do it this way and combine them instead of having to draw every little detail out each time.